Denise Waldrep. She is our candidate for State House District 13 in Greenwood County. And you can see from the little image there that 13 covers most of Greenwood County. So she is going to be interviewed today by LeShae Morton. But before I start the videos, I want everybody to see that I am proudly wearing my brand new Denise Waldrep for State House shirt. And I wear that with pride, and I hope to see plenty more of those over time. So let me bring up LeShae, and I will bring up Denise. LeShae, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Denise, hi.
Hello.
Excellent. I am going to bow out and let you two have control, and look forward to hearing how you interact.
Thank you.
Good morning, Denise. Good morning, everyone.
LeShae.
How are you this morning?
We're doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I want to jump right into our questions. Jose, I think you did a great job with questions that were given to you and tackling some main issues. I want to point that out. So, Denise, what are your ideas on a way to open schools safely?
Thank you, LeShae, and thank you for everyone who's here. If you haven't met me, I'm Denise Waldrep, and I am running for District 13 to represent District 13 in the South Carolina House. And that does include Ware Shoals, Hodges, 96, and parts of Greenwood that are on the outside of the bypass, and Gatewood and Chinkapin, and so I'm very concerned about how we open up the schools. And I think that District 52 is taking a good lead in that they are not going with the 5 days in person or virtual only option that Governor McMaster tried to impose upon our school districts Wednesday morning. He did not have the authority to do that. That is the decision of Molly Spearman, who is the superintendent for education in South Carolina. She was elected by the people. She does not answer to the governor. And I was glad to see that our District 50 has been given a week extension for coming up with a plan that would offer parents a choice. I'm sorry that parents are having this awful choice to make, but I think that in order to have the children be able to be protected by having social distancing and wearing masks and washing hands, that we need to have the AB component where they come to class every other day and have virtual schooling every other day. That way, we can keep social distancing in the classroom. When you have 25 children in a classroom, you cannot possibly social distance when they're all together in one room. I say to the politicians, stay out of how to run the schools on a day-to-day basis. Let the experts do it. And my opponent, John McCravey, he's supporting the governor on this. He sees nothing wrong with going back 5 days a week or totally virtual. He's okay with that. He doesn't know education. I do. I've been in the classroom. I know what they need.
Very good. Just want to comment. I see, we're doing a virtual breakfast meeting. They had a virtual meeting about deciding how the kids will go back to school. So I'm in agreement with you as far as it's not safe, because if it's not safe for us as adults to be together, then children who don't know how to not touch, it's not safe for them. So I feel that we are in agreement on that. Our next question had to do with something that you're promoting in your campaign for child wellness and family wellness. So just name some ways in which you would promote child and family wellness within this community.
Well, LeShae, you and I know that nutrition is important, and I think that part of being a legislator is not only passing law, but setting a personal example and being a leader in the community. And I think it's important to address food deserts within our community. And I think we should make sure that people who don't have a way to grocery stores have access to healthy and affordable food. I would like to support local initiatives for getting healthy food to children. I have been volunteering with the school district to help distribute meals given out by the school district to children while school is out. I don't know if you know, but our public schools serve as the main source of nutrition for a good many people, good many families and children in our district. So I will support that. And any legislation as far as nutrition to children through healthcare agencies, I would strongly be in support of that. If you know my family, they tease me about not eating junk food and being picky about healthy food. So that is a personal goal. Also, we need telehealth care so that people can have virtual visits with doctors. We need accessible and affordable health care for everybody in District 50. And I think telehealth care is an immediate way that we can get that done without passing major legislation. Because to be honest with you, passing major legislation is going to be slow go for a while right now. So we have to look at something we can do in the next year.
Got you. And I just want to kind of touch base on why I asked that, because like you said, it's very passionate to both of us. I try to live a healthy lifestyle, try to always show my son the right things to eat. That way he's not prone to the bad things. So it was important to me that that's important to you. Probably our last question. So as you know, there is no hate crime law passed in South Carolina right now. So what would you be willing to do as a legislator to initiate getting that passed?
I would be a co-sponsor with the legislators who introduced this bill, and it has been introduced every year for the last 3 years in the House and the Senate. It goes straight to the Judiciary Committees, and there it gets squished. It languishes there. My opponent, as Jatron pointed out in his excellent op-ed in last Sunday's paper, my opponent John McCravey is on this House Judiciary Committee. It's in his power to bring these bills to the floor to get it passed. Has he done it in the last 3 years? No. Has he sponsored it? No. I would sponsor it. I would be on it. And not only that, but I would push along with the other people who are working on this and have been working on this for the last couple of sessions, full funding of body cameras for all law enforcement officers in the state, and a review of the use of force initiatives or guidelines state. And I want to say that in Greenwood County, the good news is that our police force, our law enforcement are nationally certified. And that means they have to pass the highest standards of training, sensitivity training, dealing with all kinds of things. And our up until this year, it's not been one shooting of a Black person by a law enforcement officer in South Carolina. But the bad news is there has been a shooting and there are problems. And as a legislator, I would be present in the community, working with all colors, all communities to enforce community and policing, and making sure that we have mental health workers to help the police and take some of the responsibility off the police to respond to situations that are not criminal, but they're more about mental health and addiction.
Yes, and I just want to say, you're saying that in the last 25 years there has not been a shooting of an African American person in Greenwood, not in South Carolina.
That's right. Thank you for that.
No problem at all. And just to touch base, that's what Jose was saying as well about allocating some of our policing funds to different areas. And I know we're pretty passionate about that as well, because the over-reliance on law enforcement can be deadly when it comes to poverty, mental illness, homelessness. So, you know, we were in agreement with special resource teams and those type of things who are better equipped to deal with that thing. And that's, I believe Jose was saying, putting some funding towards other things. So I'm totally in agreement with that, and I agree with you as far as that.
All right. Well, LeShae and Denise, I thank you for your time.
Thank
This was
you.
awesome. I also want to point out that Denise had a very special guest this past week in her caricature fundraiser online. She had none other than our future Senator Jamie Harrison participate in it, and we all drew a sketch of Jamie, and he gave an impassioned speech as well. That was really cool to see. We got a chance to talk to Jamie. We miss being able to see him in person, but thank you, Denise, for being able to bring him into that forum and talk with some of the members of our county.
My pleasure. And I have some good news. Some of you may already know my campaign outraised John McCravy's campaign this last quarter. I had 102 contributors. He had 14. So let's keep the ball rolling, guys. And thank you for all your support.
That's awesome. Thank you, LeShae, for conducting the interview. Fantastic job.
Thank you.